What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today I wanted to talk about 5 potential DLCs that I would love to see for LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, as although we do already have a really good lineup of DLC already confirmed, I do think there are some other really good bundles that would be really awesome to see in the game. So we're going to be going through my top 5 in no particular order, and with each single DLC pack I'm going to go through about 5 different characters that I would love to see from that game. Obviously, with pretty much everything that I'm going to be able to go through, there's going to be a lot more than 5 characters that we could get from those different settings. So as we go along, definitely feel free to sort of take note of your own characters that you would love to see from those different games and shows. And then at the end of the video, feel free to leave a comment on what you guys would love to see from all of the different eras and stuff that I mentioned in this video. Before we get into it, if you guys are new to the channel, then definitely hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications. But with that being said, let's get stuck right into it. So the first one I've got here on my list is obviously the Book of Boba Fett. That's one of the most recent pieces of Star Wars content that we've received, and so it is definitely very fresh on the mind as of right now. Now, obviously there are plenty of different characters that we could get from this series, but the 5 that I've got listed here that I would love to see added to LEGO Star Wars would be Boba in his obviously Book of Boba getup, Fennec Shand, Din, who could obviously be carrying the Darksaber, my boy Chrysanthemum, who is easily one of my favourite characters from the show, and then another favourite character of mine in Cad Bane. Obviously, a few of these characters do already have different appearances in the game. Characters like Boba, Din, and most likely Cad Bane will already be in the game, seeing as obviously Boba is in the original trilogy, Mando does already have his own DLC packs, and then Cad Bane could end up showing up in the Bad Batch DLC, so some of these guys may already be in there, but it would be cool to get their different appearances, just the same as a lot of other characters have multiple different appearances in the game. Now, moving on from the Book of Boba Fett, we actually have Jedi Fallen Order. Now, I know this is a little bit weird because it's kind of like a little game crossover here, but I think it would absolutely be amazing to see some of these characters in the game. At the end of the day, it is a canon story, so it's definitely not impossible. I don't think it necessarily will happen, but it would be awesome to see either way. Now, for the 5 that I've got listed for Fallen Order, we have obviously Cal Kestis, and he would obviously have BD1 as his companion, although it would be sick to see BD1 as his actual own character. I've then also got Merrin, who is definitely one of my favourite characters from Jedi Fallen Order. I've then got a Purge Trooper because I think they would be so much fun to play as. They've got obviously those like Magna Staff, so they would be like a melee character, but then you could obviously have different variants of them as well with different sort of weapons. And then the last 2 that I've got here are both the second sister and the ninth sister as well, who again I think would be awesome to see in LEGO Star Wars. Moving on to the 3rd DLC pack, and this is one of my personal favorites in Star Wars Battlefront 2. Now, obviously, again, this is another video game crossover, but there are LEGO versions of some of these characters in, you know, actual real LEGO, so it's definitely not impossible to see some of these guys make their way in. Hopefully we do, but again, I'm not too sure if we actually will see these guys. The 5 characters from Battlefront 2 that I would love to see, and obviously I'm not going to include the likes of, you know, the heroes in multiplayer. I'm mostly talking about the campaign here. Obviously, Iden, she is obviously the main character of the game, and you could also have different variants of Iden, one being her Inferno Squad variant, and then obviously she could be the Rebel as well, and even like her older appearance too. I've then got Del Meeko, and again the same could be said for him. You could have his Inferno Squad look as well as him as a Rebel. We've then got Gideon Hask, who to be honest, he could just be like a regular Inferno Squad looking soldier, to be honest. And then lastly, 2 personal favorites from the campaign were Shriv, as well as the Naboo version of Leia, because we've actually never seen her in that sort of outfit that she was wearing, other than I believe in a certain comic, so it would be awesome to see that appearance in another game as well. Now, moving on, and this is a bit of an obvious one, to be honest. Most of the other shows are already confirmed in the DLC packs, but Rebels is actually not confirmed. So the next DLC pack that I would love to see is Star Wars Rebels. Now, the characters from this list are pretty obvious. We would have Ezra, Kanan, Zeb, Hera, and Sabine, and you could also throw in Chopper as well. There are plenty of other different characters that we could see from the Rebels pack as well. For example, you could have like the Grand Inquisitor, or just really any of the Inquisitors. You could have even like a Darth Vader variant where obviously his head looks very different in the Rebels art style, so you could have that sort of displayed in the actual design of Darth Vader's character in the game. You could also have Darth Maul. You could have essentially anyone who appeared in that show, because there's so many great characters in Star Wars Rebels. But yeah, I think the 5 for me are definitely the main characters of the show in the Phoenix Squadron. Now, last but definitely not least, we have Kenobi, which is obviously the upcoming show starting in May, and I think this would be awesome to launch actually sort of like right when the show actually launches on Disney Plus, or I guess to avoid spoilers, it would probably be best to do it, you know, once the show's ended, but having some Kenobi content in the game essentially right as it comes out, that would be so awesome to see. And to be honest, out of all of these, even though some of the other stuff that I mentioned would be great to see as well, I think having Kenobi characters within LEGO Star Wars pretty much straight away would be by far the coolest to see, as it is actually happening in real time pretty much. So obviously for the list of characters, we're not really sure who's going to be in it yet. Obviously Kenobi's going to be in it, so I think just the, you know, 10 years later version of Obi-Wan would be pretty cool to see. We know that Vader's going to be in it too, and there is concept art of him having a broken helmet, so maybe like a battle-scarred version of Darth Vader. But then other than that, we really just don't know who's going to appear in it. I do assume there's going to be some clone troopers in it, so maybe we could have some clone variants as well. And there's also rumors of the Grand Inquisitor too, so there's definitely a lot of possibility there. Obviously, as of right now, we just don't really know anyone confirmed other than, I believe, Kenobi and Vader. They're really the only ones that we know. But either way, it would definitely be pretty awesome to see some of these characters. And you could even have characters, for example, like Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru and even a 10-year-old Luke. So there's definitely plenty of possibility there, and I think it would be great to see some of this content coming from the show right into LEGO Star Wars. But that is going to do it for my 5 DLC packs that I would love to see, guys. Obviously, like I said, for all the DLC packs that I mentioned, feel free to leave your own characters from those different pieces of content that you guys would love to see as well. But on top of that, also feel free to leave your own DLC packs in general. There's obviously a lot of different eras, different shows and stuff that I didn't cover, so feel free to leave all of yours down below, as I'm keen to see what you guys come up with as well. That is going to do it for this one though, guys. If you enjoyed the video, then be sure to leave a like down below, and if you guys are new to the channel, then definitely hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications so you don't miss out on any upcoming LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga content. If you want to support the content that I make here on YouTube, then do consider supporting the channel over on Patreon. The links to that are down in the description. But with that being said, thank you all very much for watching. You guys have a great day, and may the Force be with you always.